Hey everyone, it's Jenna Melanson from Canadian Beats Media. I'm joined today by Japanese Canadian artist Garrett Neiles for our latest segment of Zoomies. Welcome, Garrett.
Hey, thanks for having me again, Jenna. I'm looking forward to this and seeing what comes out of these rapid-paced questions here. Sometimes I don't know how well my filter is, so
It's going to be fun.
yeah.
So, first off, care to introduce yourself a bit more in depth for the listeners?
Yeah, so I'm a pop rock artist, currently living in Toronto. Grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, so an interesting place to grow up, playing the music scene. We've got such an awesome live music community here, and that's really how I got my teeth cut in the music industry, was just playing every single bar, every single live venue, and every single private party. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So, you've unveiled your EP 27. Tell us a
Mhm.
bit about the writing process behind the release.
Yeah, so 27's definitely an album about that move into, not being a little boy anymore.
Okay.
Starts out with kind of describing a lot of the juvenile tendencies that I had in relationships and just the way that I perceived things. And it culminates with the final song called 27 as kind of being that realization, that move to maturity. And the hook line is actually, I learned to live again. So,
Okay. Awesome. You released three singles ahead of the release, Caution, Gasoline, and Outgrow.
mhm.
How did you go about choosing which tracks would be singles?
So I kind of played the whole single game the last couple EPs anyways, just releasing each song as singles, and then the whole EP as a package deal with one or two
Mm-hmm.
extra songs in it. The way I went about selecting them was kind of the narrative, the timeline of showing that, like I was going back to that inability to have a healthy relationship, and then the self-esteem issues, the self-awareness, and not really particularly liking who you see in the mirror, and then kind of moving towards how do we get past this, and where do we go from here. And that's how I went about selecting which single would come first, and then the
Mm-hmm.
successive one. And I really wanted to tell a story with this EP.
Yeah, makes sense. You also unveiled an acoustic version of Gasoline.
Mhm.
What made you do this?
So that's how I started my music career, was playing solo acoustic shows, and figuring out ways to make myself sound like more than just one man. And that's always really been, an alluring thing to me, is how do we take a fully produced pop rock sound and now dial it back into an acoustic version. So that was the reasoning behind the acoustic versions. I love doing them. I think it's a
Mm.
great alternate take on these songs for the fans and followers. And yeah, I just really enjoy having that acoustic version.
Okay. Um, Caution and Outgrow have garnered over 25K streams on Spotify. How does it feel when you reach a milestone like that?
It's great. I love, I love seeing that people are responding well to the songs. Um, you know, it may be an interesting take on it, but I'm a big believer that you kind of have to listen to what your audience is telling you a little bit
Mm-hmm.
about, which songs are landing, and which songs, maybe were great artistic experiments but didn't quite land as well. And it's becoming clear to me that the hooks, the pop sound, and a little more upbeat is definitely what people are responding to. And I think Outgrow is over 30K now, so I'm
Oh,
really excited to see that and kind of build off that momentum.
wow, because I just wrote this the other day and what it went up
Oh, it,
quick. Awesome.
yeah, it's getting some good playlisting, and it's just something I'm proud.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm proud of. I think it's no secret at the beginning of artists' careers. I've done the pay for stream things before, and try and get a little bit of traction through
Mhm.
different playlists or different streaming services that can help out with that. And it's kind of now to the point where when I release a song, it gets on so many people's release radars and kind of goes from there that it's a little bit more organic of a build, and it's great.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Do you have any upcoming shows to tell us about?
So I just played our big EP release last night in Winnipeg at the Park Theater. Amazing night, amazing venue. And coming up, I don't have any public shows that we're going to be doing for the rest of 2023, but definitely keep your eyes peeled for 2024 events coming up.
Okay. So the next 5 questions are just for fun.
Okay.
Who was the first Canadian band or artist to catch your attention growing up?
Ooh, that is a good one. I really liked Swollen Members and
Yeah.
and kind of like that early 2000s Canadian hip hop scene. There was another great band called Project Wise. So
Okay.
Swollen Members and Project Wise really caught my attention. And obviously bands like Trouble Charger and Simple Plan were
Mhm.
definitely huge inspirations of mine.
Okay. With winter creeping up, what's your favorite warm drink to enjoy on a cold day?
Coffee and Wayne Gretzky's liqueur.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, it's delicious. There's actually a new one called PJ's. It's available in Ontario, so I think it's
Okay.
actually available across Canada now. But definitely worth checking out if you like that kind of stuff.
Interesting. If you could work with any fellow Canadian artist who you haven't already, who would you choose?
Brian Adams.
Good
I'd
answer.
love to co-write with Brian Adams. I'm not sure if he's doing a lot of production work too, but I'd love to just work with him and his team and do a song together. I've always just admired his. He's the king of Canadian pop rock in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. What's your go-to comfort food?
that's a great question. Miss Vicky's salt and vinegar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those,
I
those are
agree.
those are crack. It's insane. Like
They're
it's
delicious.
the bag. I can't stop.
And last but not least, what's a movie you can watch over and over and never tire of?
Lucky number 11. Big Josh
Okay,
Hartnett fan. Yeah, so
awesome.
if you're not familiar with it, it's like kind of an early 2000s dark comedy slash drama. It's really
Yeah,
solid.
I'm pretty sure I saw it, but I don't really remember it, so maybe I'll have to look at it again.
All right.
So that's it for Zoomies. Thanks for joining me and congrats on the EP.
Hey, thanks, Jenna. Always great to be on with you again, and looking forward to many more like this.